Hey, good morning, everyone. Proficiency exam should be an easy task at Nevada Virtual Academy and everywhere in the world, right? Problem number 27. Which integer is closest to the value of square root of 5 to the third power, right? Well, there are many ways to solve this problem. Some of you may go backwards from the answers and try to find which of these numbers will be the closest one to that. How can we do it? Well, an easy way is by squaring each one of these numbers, right? And by squaring that one too. What is square root of 5 to the third squared? Well, square root of 5 to the power of 3, everything squared, will be 5 to the third power, which is 125, right? Okay, well, let's square this possible answers here. What is 3 squared? 9. Well, 9 is different than 125, right? That tells you that A cannot be the answer. Let's go with the next one. What is A squared? A squared is 64. That's far away from 125. This is not good either. Let's go with the next one. What is 11 squared? That's 121, right? Well, 121 is really close to my 125, and this may be the right answer. But let's check the next one. What is 15 squared? Well, 15 squared is more than 200. It's actually 225. That's not good, and that's why the answer is C, 121. This 11 is the closest one to the square root of 5 to the third power. That's one way to solve it, right? And there is another way. You can basically take the square root of 5 to the power of 3, and remember that you can, one of the properties of square roots is that if you have square root of a times b, that's square root a times square root b. Well, how I'm going to use this one here? Well, simply by just writing 5 to the third as 5 squared times 5, which will equal square root of 5 squared times square root 5. And that in the end gives you what? Square root of 5 squared is 5, square root 5. How am I going to use that? Well, you're going to say, well, 5 square root 5. If you have your other numbers, and your options here were what? Well, the options were 3, 8, 11, and 15. And you were supposed to compare that. Well, if you know that square root 5 is actually less than square root 9 and is greater than square root 4, right? Which makes your square root 5 greater than 2 and less than 3, okay? Well, if you multiply this one by 5, everything, right? So it'll be 5 times 2, 5 times square root 5, 5 times 3. What do you have? Well, you realize that your 5 square root 5 is greater than 10 and is less than 15. Well, I'm looking at my options here. Well, 5 square root 5, right? Well, it's definitely not going to be 3, not going to be close to 8. 11 is right here between 10 and 15. 15 is not, because 15 is 15, right, equal to 15, but your 5 square root 5 is less than that. And that's another way in which you can come up with the same answer, C. This is it. Thank you, and I will see you soon.